This podcast is intended for immature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. It's the You Name It podcast with Davin and Jerry.
Hola, you asshat.
Hola, you asshat. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. I changed that to immature audiences. Maybe I should record a real one and put some sort of sound effect in there.
We need like a Jetsons theme song.
Okay, let's go from having a disclaimer to make sure that little kids in the car aren't hearing swear words to needing a Jetsons theme song. Let's just go right there.
Well, Camel did it when they marketed to kids for smoking and shit.
They had a Joe Camel theme song.
No, they just use cartoon characters to sell adult products.
They did, and I actually worked on a shoot for ABC News where we went out in the world and talked to children about smoking cigarettes and whether or not Joe Camel was appealing to them in some way.
And?
They all basically said, nope, smoking is stupid, and so is Joe Camel.
And it's all peer
And then there was
pressure.
the older people said, no, I'm not swayed into smoking by a cartoon camel. It was all pretty kind of funny in a way. You know how that goes.
Yep, you've worked on a couple different shows.
Oh, yes. I had a career that was in broadcasting for a while and used to go out in Michigan and sometimes out of state and do shoots and interviews and all that kind of stuff you'd see on TV. We talked about that with last week, picking up that correspondent from Inside Edition.
Right.
Or Current Affair or whatever it was. But you've done many, many celebrity highbrow shit things too, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Can't have a normal job, you know? You got to have something.
No, you don't
more
want
interesting.
that.
We have a normal job right
like
now, and it's
right.
It's not interesting.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of interesting because we have new people we can say hi to. Brad, right?
Yep.
And Brad says something very important that came out today that everybody needs to know. Having a milkshake in the middle of the day is fantastic.
Yes.
It's delicious, and it's like a delicious treat in the middle of the day.
He
And I
also-
can't believe how great this is.
I know, it's like the first time he's ever had a milkshake in the middle of the day. We should all try one.
Thanks for that tip, Brad. This is the beginning of things you didn't know you cared about.
Yeah.
Which is a topic that we had things that make things better before. Today we can talk about some things you didn't know you cared about.
Yep. Well, we had.
And I know you've got a couple of things that you didn't know you cared about. I have one that you don't know about.
Okay.
Do you want that one first?
Yeah, go for it.
Listener Jimmy Talby from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
He writes. Let me see if I could read it to you. It'd be fun for you. He writes to the show. He says, "Believe you me." Who's you me? What the fuck is this supposed to mean, Jerry? Perhaps y'all can address this. Well, I wanted to ask you what you thought it meant. Davin, use your intelligence to explain to the audience what you think believe you me is all about. Yeah. Because believe you me, the audience wants to know.
It's more like, believe me, I'm not lying to you, but you're going to like this.
Yep. But why do you think it is that way? Why do you think they're using you before me? Because it's all wrong. It's wrong English.
I think you're trying to cause agreement before you make your statement. Like, you're going to agree with me on this one, you jacknut.
Yeah, maybe. Or does it mean believe you me? You know, as in, I'm going to go meet Colton and Yumi for some Dragon Ball Z cosplay. Probably doesn't mean that, no.
No, probably not.
I can tell you what it means. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Things I didn't know I was interested in.
Yeah. So the first part of this is in this discovery that we're trying to do. You'll notice that the sentence is all wrong, but it's not weird because if you look at the Bible, they do the same kind of shit in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll say, what would they say? Like, where the hell is it? Like, Trying to find the one that's in the Bible. Oh, like, be ye not proud, which would be like, be you not proud.
Right.
Or they talk about Shakespeare, too, like, mark ye me, or whatever. There's other ones, too, that you've heard before, like, mind you. You know, don't park your car there, Davin, mind you. You've heard mind you before.
Yep.
But the thing is, this shit didn't happen. This believe you me one isn't old like that. It actually came around in the 20s.
Well, 20s is still kind of old, Jerry.
Yeah, but it wasn't like ancient history old,
right,
with vows and all that. Hear ye, hear ye. That's another one, too.
Yep.
Like, hear you this, what I'm going to say. They think, this is just speculation on the part of one of our go-to sources, Mental Floss, mentalfloss.com. And they're really good with this stuff normally. And they think that it's from the influx of Irish citizens that came into the U.S. during that time, you know?
Okay. They
had a big study of Belfast English and all this. And they would say some crazy shit that I've never even heard of. Like, some of it sounds plausible, like, go you away or sit you down. They'd say, like, go you away, sit you down now. So, Davin, sit you down now and have a nice cup of porridge or something, you know?
Let's listen to a nice podcast, Jerry.
But then they would also screw it up big time, like, put you it away. Put you it away. Or phone you them up. Hand you me that parcel. That's their examples.
Oh, wow.
So they think that it's from that whole line of shit that the Irish brought in. Okay. Believe you me. Believe you me. That's what it's from, Davin.
Nice.
That's shit you didn't know you cared about.
No. There's also...
Right there.
Kyle brought one up today.
Kyle did. Okay.
Kyle, our frat boy friend that listens.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He wanted to be called Kyle.
He wanted to be called his pseudonym name, yeah. He didn't want to be called by his real name.
I don't want to go for that, because we're going to give him some information, too, today, so you might as well.
This is straight facts.
Well, he was happy to get a nickname after 32 years, is what he told me.
You couldn't hear that?
No.
This is straight facts for you, that.
Nope.
You're not hearing the soundboard?
Not hearing the soundboard.
Weird.
Not hearing it at all. Not a lick of it.
All right. I guess changing channels didn't help.
No. Are you sending it to
exactly.
To the right
that's what I'm trying to do now.
This is straight facts for you, that.
How's that? Nothing?
That's Zach. We're talking about Kyle.
I know, but you heard it though, right?
Yes, I heard it that time.
I had to redo the board. Yeah, Kyle is Zach. Don't let him fool you, Davin.
Yeah. Well, he came up with the thing that I didn't know, the NASA thing.
That NASA, Florida?
NASA, the space agency.
Oh, because it sounded like you said Nassau.
Well, NASA is in Florida too. Anyway.
NASA,
Shut up, Jerry.
NASA, NASA.
NASA.
All right.
Their area code is 321.
Really?
And they fought for it.
Really? Is that true?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Let's check.
We have to fact check our listeners.
NASA area code 321. Let's see. It's the area code that serves Brevard County, Florida.
Okay.
I guess, in a way, that could be it.
Yeah. Where's NASA? What county is NASA located in?
Because it's saying something about that. It's saying, like, Cape Canaveral.
Yep.
Is that where that's at, too?
Yep.
So, yep. So the new code, it's 1999 this happened. The new code, which is being used voluntarily starting this month and will become permanent in a year, is 321, as in 321 liftoff. So there it is.
Things you didn't know you were interested in.
You didn't know you cared about that.
No, I did not at all. And
I like that.
Now I do.
That's a good one. 321 is the area code for NASA.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So we were also talking about inventions named after the inventor.
We were, yeah.
Who do you think invented the Reuben sandwich?
Well, that one's a real brain buster there.
See if you can guess this one.
Here, let me look it up on my computer here. Yeah, see, Reuben did, Davin.
Yeah?
Reuben invented it.
He did. Wow. Reuben Kolofsky.
Oh, Reuben.
And he was, let's see, his first name is sometimes spelled Reubin. His last name was sometimes shortened to K.
But did that change the flavor of the sandwich?
It must have. He's a Jewish Lithuanian-born grocer residing in Omaha, Nebraska.
You don't say. You don't say. Really? The Reuben is a Jewish sandwich.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
I don't think anyone ever knew that.
No, but the Omaha, Nebraska thing kind of comes as a shocker.
Ow.
Yep. And evidently
you're saying I say ow, you think it's about Omaha. I was putting liquid Band-Aid on my finger and it's stinging the shit out of stings.
I have a gripe with you, by the way. Speaking of putting liquid bandage on. Fuckers who aren't bald won't understand this, but Jerry talked about the safety blade that he uses for shaving, so I had to go out and buy one.
Last week's Shaving is a Scam show.
Right.
Taught Davin the joy of not having to spend $1 million on shaving.
Right.
Gotcha.
But here's what I found out, Jerry. You did not inform me not to use it on my bald head. And of course, the first thing you tell me when I told you I bought one is you texted me, "Be careful, don't cut yourself," which automatically means I'm gonna fucking cut myself.
Oh, you think it's some sort of magic by me warning you it's going to happen now.
So yes, I cut my head.
Yeah, that's bizarre that you would use. I never thought about having to warn you not to use that kind of a razor on your head.
Right.
You know, I just didn't think it would ever happen.
Well,
I'm imagining you standing there in the shower, right?
Yes, I shave in the shower, and
like everybody does. And you're in there, oh, la-dee-dee-dee-dee, I'll shave my head. Right there.
Blood pouring down my face right before I'm getting ready to leave to go out, and cannot get it to stop for the life of me, because for some reason, head cuts just bleed and bleed and bleed.
Oh, yeah. Ears? You ever cut an ear?
Oh, yeah.
That shit won't stop for days. It's insane.
So I finally got it to stop, and I put some liquid bandage on it.
So that's what brought that on, that top. Yeah, exactly. That shit hurts.
And then it turns into this bloody, scabby-looking mess of a thing. So I covered it up with a Band-Aid. So now I look like an old man who bumped his head.
Isn't there like a nursery rhyme about that?
Yeah. Then when
it's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring.
But when you pull the Band-Aid off to replace it rips the liquid bandage off with it.
So wait, I missed part of that. You're saying that you put liquid Band-Aid on it and then a Band-Aid.
Yes.
You doubled up. You didn't need to double up, did you?
Well, because it made this bloody-looking, scabby mess of a thing on my head. The liquid bandage kind of blended in with the blood, and it was gross.
Yeah, that is gross. And by the way, I screwed up a little bit. When I was doing my impression of Davin shaving his head in the shower, I was using the wrong sort of a song. This week I found out that Davin likes to do things like this. A rooty toot toot and a toot toot rooty toot. When he's singing his happy songs. What the fuck? What year is it, too? That sounds like something you'd say in the 30s. A rooty toot 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 toot.
Yeah, doot doot doobie doop. Bum bum bum. Yep.
The newlywed game or whatever it is. Yeah, Rudy Toot. So sorry about that. I didn't want you to hurt yourself shaving your head. Yep. And all of you haired up people out there will never understand the pain of that and the embarrassment of having a cut on your head that everyone can laugh at.
Yep.
So
are we going back to things you didn't know you were interested in? For 400, please, Alex?
Yeah, and we also forgot to say something else to Zach. Kyle.
Fuck you and your eyebrows.
Yep.
And that's only because he likes it so much and says it all the time.
Yep.
All right, enough of that.
Well, you know he's going to be listening to this on the way into work since he has that long drive to work.
Yeah, probably tomorrow. Do you have another thing you didn't know you cared about?
Oh, did we talk about the Ted Nugent doesn't sing his own songs? A lot of them.
I don't know that we talked about it on the show. No, people aren't really aware of that because they think that a Ted Nugent song is Ted Nugent.
Right.
It's not.
Like Stranglehold.
Let's see. Who is it? Derek? Is it Derek?
Derek St. Holmes?
Yes. Yeah. Guy in Nugent's band named Derek St. Holmes. That he was the rhythm guitar player and the vocalist for Ted Nugent. And he sings most of the songs, as a matter of fact. So Ted Nugent is not fooling anyone.
No.
Because he doesn't do Stranglehold and all that stuff.
Well, we were in, I was doing a NASCAR event, and we had a band stage, and it was in Richmond, Virginia, and Derek St. Holmes actually played Stranglehold, and the tent ended up getting just swamped with people because they thought Ted was there. And they come in and they were disappointed to see, who the hell is this guy? He sounds just like Ted.
Right. And I don't think it was one of those deals. I saw a documentary called Hired Guns.
Okay.
Last I knew, it was on Amazon Prime. It's about musicians that, that did all kinds of cool shit that you never knew because they've been left off of the credits and shit like that. And the Derek St. Holmes guy was saying things like, Ted would tell people, like, they'd ask him after a concert, how come you weren't singing? And he'd go, oh, my voice was feeling bad today, so Derek took over. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, that's not me who sings all those great songs, he's pretending still it was him, I guess. Mr. Nugent. Hello, if you're a listener, Mr. Ted Nugent.
Yep.
You may know me from driving your Bronco in the rain.
Well, that's right.
Because I did that.
Yeah, what was the show you worked on?
It was the pilot for VH1's show Surviving Nugent, a reality show where contestants would go stay with Ted Nugent for a number of days, and he would basically torture them.
Yep.
By both with things they had to do and being Ted Nugent. So,
but you had some interesting stuff happen to you on that.
Yeah, and I'll share one, and then I'll save another one.
Okay.
But because we're doing that now, we're shelling out our good celebrity stories over time, people, so that we don't just get rid of them all in one day. So at the end of the weekend of shooting, 3 or 4 days, super long days, we had to do this deal where they were announcing the winner, I think, and how that was done was in a field, he pulled all of his vehicles up into like a semicircle and turned on the headlights, and the winner would be announced, in the headlights of all of his cool trucks and stuff. Because he's got a whole bunch of Broncos and different types of vehicles and whatnot, Mm-hmm. But it decided it was going to rain. So we took down all the real lights and everything. And we were getting ready to go back, and he asked me to drive the big zebra striped Bronco that he's most famous for.
Okay.
He said, here, you sound guy, you drive this. Because he wouldn't say, he knew my name. I said it to him a bunch of times, but he never called me by name. He just called me sound guy. So, you drive this. And I'm like, okay, cool. I was a little nervous. I'm like, I'm out in a field. I don't want to screw this up, wreck his truck somehow.
Roll his truck.
Yeah. But he like walks me to it. It was almost like your dad going to teach you how to drive.
Right. This was the zebra Bronco?
Yeah. The white and black one, zebra striped, big giant thing. I didn't know how tall or how high up that was until then either.
It's almost like a monster.
I had to climb up into that thing. It was funny. And I don't know, he might have helped me up into his truck, too.
I can see Ted lifting your ass up in there.
Get up there, fat sound guy. But so I get into the car seat, and it's a I can't remember if it was a stick shift or not. I think it was. Like it was a stick shift too. But he says to me, he's pointing at the pedals on the floor. And he's going, don't push the gas too hard because you'll take off sideways. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, I can drive a fucking truck. Stop it. You know, what's wrong with you trying to tell me how to drive this stupid thing? So he walks away. Everybody starts going. It's my turn to pull out. I lightly press on the gas, and the fucking thing went sideways. It was so stupid. Like, it had so much power. It was like, whew! And just, you know, and it slid sideways through the mud. And I was like, holy shit. No wonder he told me that.
Nice.
But I got to drive the famous zebra truck.
That's sweet. Any damage
and didn't
caused
even
to it?
wreck it. What's that?
Any damage caused to it?
None. No. Didn't wreck it. That thing's a monster, though.
I ever tell you about how
Crazy.
I caused $1,600 worth of damage to a golf cart?
I don't believe you did. I'm sure the people would love to hear how you 1,600. Are golf carts more expensive than that?
Well, this was we were doing motorsports for NASCAR. So it was a custom golf cart with all the, you know, manufacturer's logos on it and everything else. And I had just our band stage was like on one side of the Indianapolis 500, and where we parked was on the opposite side. So our sound guy wanted to load up his equipment. It was the last day, and he brought some personal gear there that he wanted to load up. So I drove him in the golf cart out to get his car, dropped him off. I'm coming back. It started lightly raining.
Yeah.
And this thing is souped up. I mean, it's not a regular golf cart. It's designed like a NASCAR, custom fiberglass hood and all that other stuff.
Right.
I'm coming back by the band stage, and I hit the brake, and only one brake engages, the back right, and it locks up. And I slide about 16 to 20 feet, slam the front end into the truss that's holding all the lighting. The windshield flies out. I hit the steering wheel with my chest, hurt like a mother. Pop up out of the car like I meant to do it, you know, out of the cart. And look down.
Don't worry, everybody. Everything's okay.
The wheel wells, the fiberglass hood over the wheel wells cracked. Both sides,
Right.
like 5 to 6 inches. Well, custom fiberglass. $1,600 of damage. And
Wow.
the guy that loaned it to us, oh, I forgot to tell you that only one brake was working.
Oh, yeah, I just conveniently forgot to tell you that. Well, not conveniently, but I bet he probably had to feel like an asshole.
Well,
Did you have to pay any money for that?
our company actually paid for it.
No way.
Even
though he said I forgot to tell you that.
They didn't want to raise any big red flags or anything like that, so they just paid it.
Right. Did you hear this in your head afterwards, but with your name?
And don't let Alan drive. There's something wrong with him.
There you go. Yep, that's me.
Don't let Davin drive.
So I've got
something wrong with him.
I've got one more of the things you didn't know you were interested in. Do you know how
Okay.
Do you know how this is the same
Things you didn't know you cared about.
cared
is the
about?
title.
Well, okay. Interested in, cared about, same difference.
Well, if I write it as a title, we got to have it make sense. Right?
Okay. Nickelback. Do you know how Nickelback got their name?
I do not know how Nickelback got their name.
The drummer used to work at Starbucks in Canada before joining the band, and all day long, everything in Starbucks was like $2.95, $3.95, $4.95. So all day long, here's your Nickelback. And that's
Well,
how,
there. That's
that's
a
how
good
they
one.
got their name. Yep.
Interesting. Everything's a Nickelback in that store. Hey, guess what, people? Davin is addicted to trying to sing the beginning of a Def Leppard song.
Unden lieben Glauten Globen.
But he's been saying it wrong for years.
I have.
Yeah, you know you have, because we've talked about this. But I have to find that area here.
Yep. Did you look up and find out
it's
what
actually,
it means?
I looked up the story behind that whole thing.
Okay. There's a story that goes with it. Okay.
Yeah, the producer of Def Leppard, I forgot his name. I should know his name. Let me see if it's in here. Somebody Lang. Mutt Lang.
I think
he's actually a really famous guy.
Yeah, didn't he do a lot of the AC/DC albums and stuff?
I don't know exactly which ones. I could find out, but that would bore everybody probably too much. Find out. Just say he's one of the big producers of that time frame.
Okay.
And I guess he would do 1,000,000 takes of every song, and he got sick of just counting it down, saying 1, 2, 3, 4, and started making up nonsense that sounded German. So that's actually him on that track doing it, counting them off to start the recording, and it's Gunter Gleben Glauten Globen.
Okay.
And apparently nothing besides maybe the name Gunter is a person's name. It's all supposed to just be nonsense.
Okay.
So
it's all nonsense words.
Yeah, and those are things you didn't know you cared about.
Exactly.
That's a Rock of Ages is the song if you want to hear it. I thought about playing that, and then I remembered that you can kind of get in trouble for copyrighted material. And I know we skirt around it a little bit, but I was afraid that might be because it's music, that it might actually cause a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we did little clips of, who was it that passed away? Glenn Campbell or all that kind of stuff. We were playing little songs. I probably shouldn't worry about it. Let's think about it, people. Why don't you write to younameit.podcast@gmail and tell me whether you think I should break the law. Probably.
Oh,
because
man,
I don't think there's enough people listening to get me in trouble.
He's got a lot of albums that he's worked on. Holy shit. To the point where
Mutt Lang?
Yeah. Like they list it on alphabetically because he's got so many.
Produced albums. He's got
Foreigner, Bryan Adams.
Yeah, let's see. What's the most recent, though? Ashley Clark in 2015. Muse.
Highway to Hell, Hysteria.
These are full albums here that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Bryan Adams, Def Leppard, Michael Bolton, Shania Twain, Nickelback.
Oh.
I like that, Davin.
Wow.
He
Tie
did
it right
Nickelback's
back.
album Dark Horse.
Okay.
There's a bunch of... he actually produced Lady Gaga's Born This Way song.
Yep. Pyromania.
And he wrote a bunch of shit, too. This guy's got to be rich.
Let's look up his worth. What is his net worth?
I don't know. Could you do that? Because I don't know.
Yeah, let me back up here. Let's see. Mutt Lang's net worth.
Is that all you got to do to find this information? Is look up people's net worth?
Yep.
Let's see. Robert Mutt.
$225 million.
Oh, Mutt.
He's broke.
That's a lot of dough.
He is broke.
He's broke. How do you get that?
Wow.
He is in a class of people that would definitely be affected by a different president.
Yeah.
So some of the things we talked about today with new listener Brad was how people freak out about, holy shit, if Biden's elected, our taxes are going to go way up. Holy shit, if Trump is elected, this will happen. Or, all that kind of thought that the world will fall apart with the new president.
Right.
And the real deal on that idea, everybody out there, pay attention. Pay close attention. If you were a person who makes roughly between, I don't know, could even be $35,000 and $175,000 a year, you won't really see any difference ever. You might see $600 either way. Only the people at the very top and at the very bottom will be affected in a great way by a different president. Everybody else is that's all just bullshit. They're just making you think it. Can you even remember, Davin, over the years, like changing from Bush to Obama? Was it such a drastic change in your income for taxes? or from Clinton to Bush,
No, well, typically, let's face it, we're all going to get taxes aren't going down, right?
Right. That's the one part. You're never going to see taxes that are actually going to go down so much.
Look at what you were making, say, 15 years ago versus now. Your income kind of raises with the taxes, so it doesn't really affect you based on the president because they're all going to raise taxes at some point. They're getting it from somewhere because they can't keep printing money like they're doing.
Right. Well, they'll raise, like one guy might raise taxes, and next guy might lower them back down a little bit.
They get it
raise
somehow.
them back. Like Reagan. Look at Reagan. He was like, everybody thought, oh, this guy's great. He cut taxes for everybody, but he ended up raising them 7 more times after he got into office. It was almost like he put it back.
Yeah.
In a way. But you're not seeing how, like, they try and make you feel it's such a drastic, horrible problem that if somebody gets in that's going to be so horrible because they're going to raise taxes, you're not going to fucking see much of anything happen to you. Just like none of you who are listening right now can remember how you were affected by taxes in the last 3 presidential elections. You're going
to love this one. So
I'm just yelling at the audience right now in case you wanted to know.
This is straight facts for you, Zach.
Right there.
So, you know how Google always comes up with things they thought you were interested in?
Oh, suggestions on
Right.
what you should be interested in.
Right.
Gotcha.
Well, because I was looking up Mutt Lange's net worth, and then I was looking up who invented the Reuben. Now, Paul Rubin's net worth pops up. Why do I want to know what Pee Wee Herman's net worth is?
Everybody wants to know. That's a thing I didn't know I cared about. So, what is his net worth?
$5 million.
That's still a great net worth.
Yeah, for a jacker.
Yeah, for a jacker. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Well, think about this, though. He probably had a lot more money when he was a big movie star and everything.
Yeah.
But from the time, like, what would that be, 1983 or something?
Yeah.
So from then until now, I've seen him in a couple of things, like a couple of appearances in movies, and then he was in a TV show for a little while. He still has $5 million, and he's hardly doing anything.
Yep.
I'd love to not do anything and have $5 million.
Okay, Jerry, I want you to do something. Go to Google and start who invented, and what is your first search?
What do you mean?
Look, what pops up suggestion-wise as the top one?
Oh, because it does, because we looked it up before recently. Who invented the Harvey Wallbanger?
No. Mine pops up with who invented blow-up dolls. So you can tell what kind of searches I've had. Holy shit.
Yeah, why is that? Why did I heard something about blow-up dolls today. Did you talk about that today?
I did. Because it was rumored that Hitler...
oh, yeah. So is this one of those cases where... Because it's on mine right now.
Right.
Mine goes, who invented the Harvey Wallbanger? Who invented the credit card? Who invented blow-up dolls? Who invented the light bulb?
Right.
So I've never searched for blow-up dolls. So my phone was listening to us.
Yes, and
you were telling me about Hitler with a blow-up doll.
And mine obviously was too, because it's popping up here.
Yeah, but you might have even read an article that talked about it, and that's why it was in your brain today.
Right, but why would it pop on yours? There's no reason.
That's what I'm saying. This shit is listening to us. No wonder my phone battery's dying so quickly these days, because it's always on listening to us. Plutonium. Let me get the NSA involved again.
Yeah, you never know.
I had something else. What do I have here for you? I don't know. Do we need to wrap up the blow-up doll thing? Was there something else that people needed to care about?
Should I look up who invented it? Let's see. Did Hitler invent inflatable sex dolls?
Is that what it says?
Yes. Yep.
Huh. Hitler and his sex dolls.
Evidently, he was way into it.
But I might have just changed the title just now. Instead of episode 178, things you didn't know you cared about, it might be Hitler and his sex dolls.
Oh, now I'm getting all kinds of
Or maybe even
pop-ups.
better, taxes, Hitler, and sex dolls.
Nothing attracts curiosity like a lurid combination of Nazis and sex. That's how the article.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of these fucking articles where you got to keep clicking to see the next part of it.
I'm writing down right now for everybody to know how this works in real life. Taxes and Hitler's sex dolls. It might change a little bit after I think about it for a while.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to have to look it up themselves because I don't want to click through all this shit, but it appears to be a hoax.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure Hitler didn't spend a bunch of time inventing a blow-up doll.
Yeah.
He had what's her name, right? Didn't he have that girlfriend? Forgot her name.
I don't.
She died with him.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Hitler's girlfriend. Hitler's...
Oh, now we're looking up Hitler's girlfriend. We're going to have all... Okay, you're looking up Hitler and you just said plutonium.
Ava Braun. Ava Braun was Hitler's girlfriend, and she was real. She wasn't inflated.
Yeah, Jerry, you're on a list right now.
Probably, but it can all be explained away. Doing research. You remember that Pete Townsend thing with child pornography, where he said he was doing research?
Yep.
Yeah. We do that. Like, why are you looking up Hitler's sex dolls and Ava Braun? I'm doing research for the podcast, people.
Oh, I got to do some research too. Real quick, because you said something this week that. So now that I did, who invented blow-up dolls?
Yeah.
Who concert? Disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Stampede.
Just for the people to understand what the topic was. I had to go to the bathroom, and I said something about it's all.
Poop is like a Who concert pressing against the gate.
Oh, yeah. I might have to take a shit, and it's like a Who concert. Everybody's pressed up against the gates or something like that.
Do you know where?
Anyway.
That took place in Cincinnati, Ohio. 11 people.
Hey,
were
everybody
killed.
poops. You know that.
Everybody does poop.
Yeah. Just so everybody, in case they think it's weird that someone would talk about poop, especially on this show, that everybody's doing it.
Yep.
Everybody listening right now will have to poop within the next 24 hours.
So what you're saying is your poop was like a stampede. That's
Yeah,
what they're referring
they were pressing
to.
up against the gates. They were trampling each other, trying to get out.
A Monday night human stampede coming out of Jerry's ass.
Well, we don't have to really dissect it that much about
killing 7 males and 4 females.
Yeah, we don't need to make light of the Who tragedy. I mean, I was going for just a quick joke. I didn't know I'd get in trouble with Who fans and everything.
Yeah.
I have one for you that I overheard. You don't know this, Dev, and this is brand new to you.
Okay.
I was at work yesterday, as we do together.
Yes.
And I overheard a couple of union guys talking.
Okay.
These guys were laying out the floor, where the wall positions are on the floor with chalk lines and stuff.
Okay.
You remember those guys were around, right?
Yep.
I heard one guy say to the other one, "Hey, you remember when you were little, you go to the doctor's office and they had that magazine, right?" And the other guy goes, "Yeah, Highlights magazine." And then the first guy goes, "Yeah, I remember they would have pictures in there. There'd be 2 pictures, and then you'd have to find the difference between these 2 pictures. Well, I got it." And that was it.
That was the conversation.
Yeah, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? I got it. When I was a kid, I found the difference between 2 pictures in a doctor's office waiting room Highlights magazine.
That is an interesting conversation.
So I thought, that can't be real. And Lisa was agreeing with this, thinking that the other guy, since it just went silent, and that was the end of that whole part of the discussion, that the guy he was telling that to didn't get how dumb that attempt at a joke is.
Right.
You remember that? Well, I found it. You know?
Oh, wow.
I think he was going for funny, and the other guy just laid there, and it was like, okay. You know?
Thought you were telling me something like matter of fact-ish, and you're really
matter of fact-ish. I have another thing that you didn't know that you cared about,
Okay.
and I don't know whether or not you know whether or not you care about this. You will in a second. This sort of goes along with our continuing free advertising for top class actions, where you can go and look to see who's suing who and whether or not you're eligible for a settlement, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not from them, but I don't even know when I stumbled across this somehow, that there's a lawsuit against Sirius XM.
Oh.
And this one's really kind of, in a way, it's interesting and funny in a way. So apparently years ago, you could buy a lifetime subscription to Sirius XM.
Oh.
But, and lots of people did.
Okay.
And then it started going away. And they're like, what the fuck? I bought a lifetime subscription. And they were doing this. Well, it's lifetime of the device that you're using.
Oh, that's bullshit.
So, like, if you got a car, if you bought a lifetime subscription and you had it in your car and you sold the car, then it's not yours anymore.
Right.
You know, you don't get the life. But the thing is, I guess they never said anything about that in their advertising. It was just, you get a lifetime subscription, not for your fucking walk around town radio. You know how they'd sell like the Walkman version of Sirius XM and stuff. So there's a big lawsuit out there. If you want to check it out, people, it's lifetime.SiriusXMsettlement.com. So if anybody out there has purchased a lifetime and then now you might be able to get something out of it.
Now, wait,
because
they merged. Was this before the merge? So was it like maybe a lifetime subscription to XM radio, and since they merged, they can now get rid of that?
I don't think that works that way. I think they have to honor, both sides, depending on if it were. I think this is Sirius that did it. I don't think it was XM.
Yeah, my dad had one
company.
years ago like that. It was Northwest Airlines was doing a lifetime subscription or membership to their Sky Club. For $1,000, and he didn't buy it. And now,
would it still be good?
Nowadays, Delta had to honor it when they took over Northwest Airlines.
When they bought, or that's what I'm saying. The overall company will still have to honor from whichever one of them from the merge did it.
Right.
So this is what they're looking for. They want, this is kind of funny, they want their $30 activation fee back.
Okay.
the people, who are in the lawsuit. Like, why the fuck am I paying you $30? It was something like that. They want that, but they're also telling them that they have to honor their lifetime subscription on any device they own, on their account,
Right. Correct.
And I sort of agree with that. If you're going to advertise shit like that and a bunch of people pay and then you just give them the middle finger and say your device died.
Right. That's bullshit.
So they're saying if you still have any of these devices, so let's say that you bought one of their little home radio kits or whatever it was years ago, and you don't use it anymore, and whatever, it broke or whatever, you can now get that working. You can get the working subscription.
Okay.
For life now from that. So I don't know. What do you feel about that? You feel like they should
honor it.
From what you know, do you think they should be paying for that?
Some of these, like, I've got lifetime membership, highest level with Hilton and with Marriott.
Yeah.
Lifetime means fucking lifetime, guys.
Right.
Your life or mine.
That's how I feel about it.
Right?
Right. You're in a sort of a death pledge.
Yes.
With Marriott.
Yes, I am.
So whoever dies first ends the whole thing.
Exactly. It's like the timeshare. You can't get rid of it.
You're like blood brothers with Marriott, in a way.
It's like a reality contract.
It is. What time is it? Oh, we're a little bit over.
Yeah. Oh, I got to do a quick shout out because are you going to post this tonight?
Absolutely.
Okay, we got to do a shout out. Anyone that's listened today, watch American Ninja Warrior tonight. We got a friend of the show, Jessica Helmer from Orlando. She goes by Jessica Rabbit.
Okay.
She has made the finals. So this is part of leading up to the the bitter end of who wins. They're running
The
through
bitter end.
The bitter end. Yeah. So
for someone, it'll be bitter, and hopefully for Jessica Rabbit, it will be a good day.
yep. And support her and cheer for her, and let's hope she does all right.
Yeah. Next week, we'll talk more about celebrity stuff, like Hugh Jackman, Oprah,
Yeah.
another Ted Nugent story. Also, Rudy Giuliani putting his hand down his pants in front of Borat's daughter. We can talk about that next week.
Okay.
So, there, teaser for you. You'll all know about it by then anyway.
That's
but we might
true.
as well laugh about it next week, too. Everybody, thanks for listening, and don't forget to share and send us whatever you want to younameit.podcast@gmail.com, and we'll take a look at it and see if we can talk about it. And
Now that
all
we have
that fun stuff.
now that we have sound effects going, you can send us some of your best sound effect clips or whatever.
Right, we could do
Jerry
that.
finally replaced his cable.
We could do that. You could, your new favorite.
Alan!
Because it just doesn't stop.
Pop a wheelie, guys.